Hello everyone, it's Rebecca here and today I'm bringing you a wrap up of the end of 2017. Now 2017 for me was a bit of a mishmash of reading. I read a lot of good books, but I didn't read as many books as I wanted to in 2017. I don't know if that's just because I sort of went into a little bit of a slump and kind of fell out of love with reading a little bit, or whether, you know, there just wasn't enough time in the day, which certainly feels like it was the case, particularly within sort of November, December time. So throughout the course of 2017, I read 17 books. I don't think I'm going to finish the 18th book today. I'm currently reading Everless on my iPad and I don't think I'm going to get that finished today, so we're just going to say 17 books in 2017. I just want to quickly show you what I ended the year on. With regards to what I was reading, I have done a little bit of a vlog. I'm currently in the process of editing and uploading that, so if it is up I'll probably forget to leave a link down below because we know what I'm like. For me, 2017 ended on a high with my reading. I went into a bit of a slump in the middle of November, coincidentally the same time I started my new job, and found it hard to get into reading. And then I had some time off and found myself picking up Artemis, starting it and finishing it in the month of December. Spoiler alert, I read Artemis. So without further ado, I'm just going to grab the books that I have read and quickly sum up my thoughts and feelings on them. If you hear squeaking, it's this chair. We have an office chair in our junk room / office. It squeaks, but it's so comfy. So the first book I read in December, or the second to last book I completed of the year, I should say. So the second to last book I completed of the year is Artemis by Andy Weir. This one follows Jazz as she lives on the first city on the moon, Artemis. Now, Artemis is a bit of a complex city in terms of there's thousands and thousands of people that live there, and the job roles that are there vary. There's sort of like the rubbish jobs and then there's the unbelievable jobs, and your pay and how you live reflect that. So it's very much similar to a lot of cities on Earth where you know, there's a very high dense population but not enough space. For example, Jazz lives in one of the C bunks, I think it is, and that's sort of quite low down, and she literally just has about a body's width worth of room to live in. She's a porter, so she sort of goes to the landing bay as the spaceships come in from Earth, and then ends up sort of taking those things off there and doing deliveries for people. It's not just from the things that she gets from Earth, it's also from things around Artemis themselves, but mainly from sort of the shipments and things that come in. So we follow Jazz as she lives basically as she lives in Artemis, and then one day there's sort of a proposition comes up from one of her clients, which makes it sound like prostitution. It's not prostitution. So this client says, look, I've got an idea, I've got a proposition, I need some help, I will pay you a lot of money for it. And she's like, hang on a minute, this sounds okay, I'll do it. And we follow Jazz as she tries to complete this task for one of her clients. I don't want to say too much about it in case I spoil it for you. I really enjoyed it. Now, I did give more of my initial thoughts in my reading vlog, and I have done an initial, not an initial reaction, but more sort of like an initial thoughts and opinions kind of review on Goodreads, so go check that out. My Goodreads is down below. But overall, I gave this one 3.5 out of 5 stars. There was a bit of an issue in terms, for me personally, of cliches. So Andy Weir previously wrote The Martian, which that follows our main character who basically gets stranded on Mars, essentially. So we watch him as he sort of films his progress, cultivating and surviving. So to go from a male's perspective to a female's perspective in space, I think he may have struggled more than he's let on. He did resort to cliches towards the end, and I did feel very much like, you know, why are you being cliche? Which is a bit of a pain because that kind of ruined it for me. It was pushing itself to a 4-star, and then that's just knocked it back down because of the ending. However, that's not to say that it wasn't a good book, because it was, and I really enjoyed it. Overall, as I said, I give it 3.5 stars. I very particularly liked some of the character developments for Svobodo and probably Jazz's father as well, more so than Jazz and other characters. But yeah, definitely enjoyed this one, definitely one I'm going to keep, mainly because it's a beautiful cover as well. Even with the dust jacket off, it is absolutely beautiful. So yeah, 3.5 stars for Artemis. The next one I read in December, which was also in this reading vlog, was Harmony. Come on screen, do your thing, which is Harmony. Sorry about the glare. And this one is by Matthew Rains. This one follows a young girl who wakes up in a cabin and finds herself basically essentially what she believes to be kidnapped. And there's not as all as it seems with this girl, as she also has telekinesis. I'm gonna put this down, I don't trust myself with my iPad without a cover on it. Harmony for me was one of those that I was like, right, I'm gonna read it just because it's a graphic novel, it's quick. See if I enjoy it. It was about 60 pages and to be honest I was pleasantly surprised. I went into Harmony not really expecting much. So in the past the graphic novels I've read I've personally found to be a little bit juvenile. They've been fun to read but they've been juvenile in my eyes, and I don't know if that's just my taste in reading. So I thought, right, I'll try Harmony, see if it's any good and go from there. I'm on a read now basis on NetGalley, which is mainly why I got it as well. And I was really surprised at how much I enjoyed this one. The graphics were really good quality as well on the iPad, which I think kind of helped a lot. It was very fast paced and it did keep me hooked. So overall, I'm going to give that one 3.5 out of 5 stars as well. I did really enjoy it. I thought, you know, the character developments left me wanting more, the plot left me wanting more, and I need to go find out if there was a second one because I need it. I need to know what happens to Harmony and Nikto. So yeah, I need to know what's happening. And finally, to round off 2017, the book I'm currently in the middle of is Everless by Sarah Holland. That is on my iPad and doesn't have the proper cover because again, it's a NetGalley ARC. So I'm not going to show you a photo of it. I'll leave a link down below to sort of where you can get Everless and sort of and Goodreads for it. But this follows a young girl who, I think she's called Jules, I think. About 20% of the way through. Bear with me with the names. This follows a young girl who lives in a city where time is currency. So your lifespan, your blood is currency. And there's these little gold coins that have sort of like a year's lifespan and you can dissolve them in your drinks. And you can drink that drink and it adds a year onto your life. They've just explained something really obvious. She lives in this city outside of a place called Everless. Now Everless is like a stately manor. It's where the Queen and the King live. It's like a palace basically. Or a city within a palace. So she then goes to work at Everless to try and get some more money, i.e. time to live, to buy time for herself and her dad. And we follow her as she goes there because she did actually used to grow up there. So she goes back to this place hoping no one will recognise her because something happened where they had to flee in the night or something when she was younger. So far I'm about 20% of the way through and I am enjoying it. According to the audiobook I've got about 2 hours and 15 minutes left, the ebook sorry. So I may try and read some of that this afternoon but I don't think I'm going to get it done before we leave to go to my in-laws house for New Year's party. So far I'm enjoying it. It's very much looking to be a 3.5 to 4 star reading. But once I do get that finished, I will update my Goodreads and let you all know my thoughts on there. Thank you all very much for watching. I know it's been a bit of a rambly video. I thought I would just share what I ended 2017 on in terms of reading. If you've read Artemis or Harmony or Everless, let me know in the comments down below and we can have a chat about them. And how did you finish 2017 on? Did you get everything you wanted read? Did you get everything done? Let me know in the comments and we can have a chat. So thank you all very much for watching and I'll see you all soon with another video. Bye!